Hey everyone, just wanted to do another quick video. This time it's about marriage, and specifically Ephesians chapter 5. And I know y'all are probably familiar with what I'm going to talk about. It's, the passage that starts in verse 22 about how husbands love your wives as Christ also loved the church. Prior to that, it's wives submit to your husbands. And so a while back, I had heard a message on this that was presented in a way that honestly I'd never heard it presented this way before. And so I've looked at this passage in kind of a different light, and I'll just kind of share that with you today, and hope that it can be a blessing to you and your marriage, as well as if you're not married, maybe for your future spouse, and what you look for in a marriage. But essentially, looking at the larger context of this chapter and really the book, Paul is speaking to love, to sacrifice, servitude, just in general. And when talking about marriage, Paul is really trying to paint a picture here of carrying that love, that attitude of sacrifice, servitude to your spouse. And so how men and women, how they interact in a marriage, they're always putting their partner ahead of themselves and their own desires. And so essentially, when you think of it in that light, it's almost, marriage in and of itself is almost a race to the bottom, or a race to be last, because you're continually trying to put your spouse in front of yourself. And so when you have a marriage, a biblical marriage, in that one spouse is always trying to put the other in front of themselves, you will continue to see this attitude of trying to one-up each other in that regard. And so it's like, no, honey, I want you to do this. And in my case, my wife be like, no, you did that last time. Let me do this for you. And so there's kind of this tug of war of who is going to win out when it comes down to it. And so with that in mind, eventually there comes a point where someone has to give way. And so that's where I believe contextually, when it says wives submit to your husbands, it's saying when your husband is showing that attitude of love and servitude, let him. Don't be like, you're always doing this for me. No, I'm not going to let you. Let him do it. If he's trying to love and show you that sacrifice, let him do it, because that's pleasing to him, just as it's pleasing to you, and vice versa. So with that in mind, I want to paint an illustration of, there was a pastor, I believe he was in Pennsylvania, and his wife had a condition. I can't remember what it was, but it was essentially kind of like an autoimmune thing, and in which, living in a northern state, the cold weather was really causing severe inflammation and just making her miserable. And so he was basically reflecting on that and saying, when we got married, we became one flesh. So I need to look at my wife as myself. And if this were me, if this were my ailment, I wouldn't want to live in a cold part of the country. I wouldn't want to live up north. If I know that the cold is going to cause more misery on me, then I would want to move somewhere to a warmer climate. So he essentially told his wife, you know what, there's no reason you should be suffering like this. Let's move to a warmer climate. And I believe Arizona was where he was wanting to move. And so she was essentially saying, no, you've sacrificed so much for me. Now that we're here, the church is growing. You're finally, things are moving here. I can't let you make that sacrifice for me. And he's like, no, if we are one flesh, as the Bible says we are. I need to look at you like I would look at myself. And if I'm in this much misery, I'm going to do something about it. And so, anyway, essentially what it came down to was she needed to submit herself to let him serve her in this manner. By her saying, no, I'm not going to let you move us. You've got so much going on here. And he's like, no, I want to serve you. She essentially, biblically speaking, wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands. Let him serve her in that manner. So they ended up moving to Arizona, I believe is where it was. But seeing the passage in that light of servitude kind of changes the perspective I've viewed this passage. So anyway, again, just another quick video. I just wanted to share that with you. I hope this has been a blessing to you. Hopes it gives you something to consider, to think about and pray about. Anyway, I hope to be making more videos like this soon. We'll see. But I hope this has been a blessing to you. I love you guys. And I will see you in the next video.